Hello, ladies, and welcome to the very first episode of Girl Me Too. Here will be our safe space where we women can come and talk about things that people normally sweep under the rug. Here we will be vulnerable, we will share our experiences, our advice, and possibly help another woman who is going through something that we've been through or something similar. Why did I create this podcast? I feel like a lot of women don't really have a safe space or a safe place to go and be vulnerable. I feel like, we are judged a lot of the times, whether it's by another woman, by a man, by a group. You just really don't have a sisterhood. And that's what I'm looking to build. I feel like a lot of women, especially us mothers, we get judged a lot. And what I mean by that is if I say something along the lines of, you know, I'm tired. Oh, well, you shouldn't have had kids. If I say something along the lines of, man, I just need a break from my kids. That makes me a bad mom. If I say something like I need help with my kids, and it's always should have chose a better father. There's always some kind of rebuttal, against any or everything that we say, and I'm tired of that. I feel like there's a lot of women who are in toxic or abusive relationships. A lot of people know that they are in a toxic or an abusive relationship, and people just turn their heads. They don't bat an eye. Some women never get out. Some women die trying to get out. I just feel like these are topics that are not talked about enough. Um, like I want to talk to the women who are just tired of pretending that everything is fine and everything is okay when in reality it's not. I'm going through it. Life is life. And, like sit me with the moms that are struggling day by day or living paycheck to paycheck. And no matter how hard it gets, how tough it gets, who is in their corner, who's not in their corner, they still show up because they don't have the option to give up on their kids, let alone themselves. Sit me with the woman who lost herself. She doesn't know, her self-worth. She doesn't have confidence. She doesn't have high self-esteem. She lost her spark. She lost herself while trying to find someone else. Again, it's not talked about enough. If you are in an abusive relationship and you are able to get out, get out. I know that, most women don't think that there is another man out there that will accept them, that will accept them when they're kids, that will love them how this man loves them. I just created this because I want it to be a platform where we are able to talk about these things because it's not normal, but it goes on as if it is because, again, no one talks about it. Everyone kind of just sweeps it under the rug. Um, Now, you know why I'm here. I have to tell you how I got here. I'm 28 years old. I have three beautiful children. I have two girls and I have a boy. But in order for you to really get to know me and why this is so important to me, I have to take you to the very beginning. Um, 10 years ago, when I was 18 years old, I was in my first abusive relationship. Now, this is 2015. So I just graduated, just went to prom. I have my own car. I'm making my own money. Life is life. And I'm getting ready to step out into the world as a young adult. I'm happy. Like I come from a great family, mom's side, dad's side. I'm happy. I was raised up right. I was working at a McDonald's and my first like real relationship or my first abusive relationship, I met him in the McDonald's drive-through line and we hit it off. And we had been going out, for months. And what most people, if you haven't been in one, what most people don't understand is when you're in a toxic or an abusive relationship, it rarely ever starts off toxic or abusive. Like the abusers wait until they know that you're locked in. Like they wait until they know that they have you. That's typically how it happens. And I remember my very first time getting hit on. We were at his brother's house. We were sitting in the car, and I don't remember what we were arguing about so long ago. Um, but he caught his hand back and he punched me in my left eye. And I just remember grabbing my eye and just screaming in pain. You ever got punched in your eye? It hurt. But I can laugh about it now because it's 10 years, later, and you gotta laugh, to fight through the tears and to fight through the pain. But I just remember grabbing and holding my left eye and just screaming. I mean, screaming in pain. I was shocked. Like I was dazed. I was in disbelief. And it just didn't feel real. And at that time I was living with my sister. And when we left his brother's house and we drove back to my sister's house, and she wasn't home yet, but she was about to come home from work. And when we pulled up, I just remember him looking at me and saying, "When we get in this house, go straight in the room." And I did. Because again, I'm in shock, I'm in disbelief, I'm in a daze. It doesn't feel real. And at that time in my mind, it's like, who do I tell? What do I say? And what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? So I went in the house and I went straight in the room. I don't know how I did it, but I hid my black eye from my family for weeks until it healed. And of course, there's a lot of apologies that come with it. It'll never happen again. I'm sorry. I know it came over me. Whatever, whatever. And I stayed, thinking that it'll never happen again, thinking that it would get better. And it only got worse. I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but that relationship was extremely physical. I'm talking from, I love with two black eyes, not at the same time, but I've had two black eyes. I've gotten stumped on, I've gotten spat on, I've gotten a gun shot at me. I There's a lot of details that I'm just not going to go into, but that relationship whooped my ass. I'm just being 100% honest. And you know, I was able to get out of that relationship within a year. And I remember how I got out. I was talking to this girl at my job, and she was telling me the same thing that everybody else had been telling me, you feel me, for months. But for whatever reason, I felt like God was speaking through her to me. Like she was talking to me in a way of, you have to get out of that relationship or something's going to happen to you. And she just kept talking to me. And I called them up. I'm like, hey, I don't want to be with you no more. It's abusive. It's toxic. I was pregnant at the time. I was 7 months pregnant with me and his first child. And I just wanted better for my daughter. And I'm like, hey, it's not working. And he had my car. I had drove my mom's car to work that night. Pretty sure I gave my mama some kind of whack excuse as to why he had my car and I needed to get hers. But anyway, he came up to my job, to give me my keys or whatever. He's like, "Oh, well, just, I'm gonna follow you home, and then you just bring me back home." But I had fell for that so many times. Like I already knew that once we drop off my mom's car, or my sister's car, or whoever car I'm in, and we get back, on the road for me to bring you home, you finna attack me. And on top of you attacking me, you finna kidnap me. Like it had happened so many times that I already knew. You like no. I don't want to be alone with you. Like my co-worker's gonna follow me home, I'll bring her back type thing. And he came to the job and he left my keys in the car. So I had to follow him out the door to go and get the keys to the car. He punched me in my face. He threw me down on my stomach. 7 months pregnant. He got in the car. He like dove in head first in the driver's seat. I opened the passenger door and I like kicked him in the face. He cranked my car up. I jumped in. And he was going like 15, 20 miles per hour. He ran into a tree. And so I get out and I'm screaming help because it's dark back there. Like there's no lights. You know what I mean? And so he's like, get in the car, get in the car. Like, what are you doing? Get in the car. I'm screaming for help because I know that if he gets me in this car, he finna get at me. He finna jump straight on I-4 and we just finna ride. I ain't jumping out of a car on I-4. I'm not doing it. But again, it had happened so many times. You feel me? Within that little bit of time that I was with him, I already knew the tricks. I already knew what was next. And he got in the car and he left. And as I was walking back to my job, now as crazy as I'm gonna sound, as I was walking back to my job, I heard God talk to me. And he said, and if you go back, I'm gonna take that baby. And that takes me back to my coworker when I felt like she was talking to me in a way of, you gotta get out or something's gonna happen to you. And so then for me to hear that voice in my head, like, and if you go back, I'm gonna take that baby. You feel me? So I get back to work. I call my mom, tell my mom what he did. I'm like, call the police, mom. She like, no, you call the police, and they better be there when I get there. I'm on my way. And to this day, I thank my mother for doing that because had it been up to me, I probably wouldn't have called. Like, I probably just would have let it go. I'm just being honest. Like, being in that victim mindset, even though he was abusing me, I didn't want to do anything to hurt him. And I know that it sounds crazy. I know. But again, if you've never been through something like that, you wouldn't understand, you feel me, the mindset. And that's just where I was. I had to, be put in the ambulance. I had to be taken to the hospital. I'm freaking out. Oh my God, I'm losing my baby. Oh my God. And the doctor was just like, the baby's fine. You may be hurting, but the baby's fine. I got out of that relationship, y'all, and I never looked back. I say all that to say that's why this is so important to me because I've been through it. And I know you're probably like, well, dang, where was your family? My family was around. I wasn't around. Like again, I would had to be kept away from my family to be until my bruises healed. I'm walking around with black eyes. I'm walking around with marks, all on my neck. Like I just had a whole bunch of bruises on me and he kept me away from my family. And I knew that I didn't want to be in another physically abusive relationship. Like I knew that I didn't want a man putting his hands on me. Like at that point, I knew that that wasn't love. And so fast forward, I got into this relationship that I just got out of. I was with this guy for 5.5 years. We have 2 kids together. Um, and that relationship taught me that not all abuse has bruises. What do you mean by that? What I mean is I had only gone through physical in the first one. This relationship, although it did turn physical, it was mental abuse. It was emotional abuse, psychological, like financial abuse. Like I went through a lot of different abuses in this past relationship. So now I've gone through all of it. Like I've gone through the physical twice. I've gone through the mental. I've gone through the emotional. I've gone through the psychological. I've gone through financial abuse. I didn't even know financial abuse was a thing, but it definitely is. Like I did not know. And it wasn't until I was able to really just kind of be by myself and think for myself, with myself, by myself, without having him in my ear, without having him in my head, without having him control my mind. Like I was able to really realize I benefited nothing from being in a 5.5 relationship. I benefited nothing. I came in with so much. He came in with nothing. He left with so much, and I left with nothing. And I know it sounds crazy, but that's how it is. And I lost myself so much in that relationship that right now I don't know who I am outside of being a mom. I'm literally on a journey trying to find myself. Like I'm trying to find what I like, what I deserve, what I don't deserve, what's right and what's wrong. Like I'm having to unlearn so much. And it is a process. It really is. And from me being 18, being in that physical relationship, and then a few years later, I get into another abusive relationship that just, again, I wasn't all the way healed. You know what I mean? And again, I didn't even know that the other abuse existed. Now I know. So now I know what red flags to look for. And there's a lot of women out there that if you don't take that time and heal and get to know yourself, you will end up in another abusive relationship. And it's so hard to get out of. It is so hard to get out of that victim's mindset. It is so hard to get out of a toxic or an abusive relationship because manipulation comes in. And I was dealing with a person that would make me feel like they're the prize. Like in my last relationship, the 5.5 years, it was as if you the prize and I'm lucky to be with you. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I can go and have whoever I want. You should be lucky I come on you every night. Like that was the kind of thing that I was getting. But in reality, I'm the one that's keeping this ship afloat. Rather it's the bills, rather it's the kids, rather it's the house, no matter what it is, I'm doing literally everything. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. I'm talking on nothing move without me. Like I'm doing so much and I just didn't really see the benefit, you feel me, of me continuing to be with this man. On top of everything else, you feel me, that you put me through, you got the nerve to be out here cheating. The reason why me and him broke up is because he tried to talk to a girl in the same complex that we lived in. I had met the girl because she's my best friend's best friend. And I just felt like that was just super disrespectful. I feel like, you have no respect for your family at all. And you're almost begging to get caught. It was just too close to home. And I did try to forget it. I really, really tried to push it to the back of my mind and really make it work with this man. But I couldn't because of how close it was. I just couldn't do it. And I walked away. I walked away. We were living in an apartment together with our kids, and I left him the apartment. I left him everything in the apartment. I took my bed. I took me and my kids' clothes. I took my pot because I cook rice in that pot, and that's a good rice pot. I took a pan, my blankets, my pillows, y'all, and I left everything else. The TVs, the table, my dressers, nightstand. I left everything. The beds, like I left everything. I wanted to walk into 2025, just me and my kids. Like after him trying to talk to the girl in the complex, mentally I was done. Physically I wasn't. Like I was 1 foot in and I was 1 foot out. But in my mind, I knew that it was over. I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to get over that. And so, we were okay for a couple of months. And we were both in the Christmas parade. And then the very next day after the Christmas parade, we got into a fight. And just me looking in my bathroom mirror and seeing this huge knot on my head, like I'm trying to cover it. You feel me, with my locks? Like I gotta go to work tomorrow. Like I'm trying to cover this big knot on my head and I can't cover it. And me just looking in that mirror just takes me back to that 18-year-old girl with that black eye. I'm looking at myself in the mirror like why? You feel me? Like what am I doing to deserve? You feel me? Like you get to questioning yourself. And hearing my kids, you feel me, in the living room crying, trying to get to me and they can't get to me. And I just knew that I was done. And again, I packed up my kids. I moved to my mom's house. I was in my mom's house probably for like 3 weeks. And then I moved back into my own place, just me and my kids. And here, we don't have to walk on eggshells. I don't have to. My kids don't have to. They don't have to wake up to yelling and screaming every morning. We don't have to come home and wonder if the person in the house is in a good mood or a bad mood. We are at peace. I am at peace. And now that I am at peace, I want to help other women that's going through this. Like, if you are in a toxic or an abusive relationship, but you don't know, but you know, like you're 50-50 with it and you just been asking for a sign, you've been praying for a sign, this is your sign. This is your sign. Like, leave. I promise you, you will be better on your own. I don't want to struggle with someone with me, especially a man. And 9 times out of 10, y'all will put your hands on a woman, but you won't go fight a man. Like it's just, I don't know what it is, with these dudes. But I'm telling you firsthand, I have been through it. I have been through it, and I was blessed. I've been blessed to be able to walk out twice. Like I said, most women never get out. And most women die trying to get out. If you are able to get out, get out. If you have kids, get out because you're repeating the cycle. Like your kids is going to grow up thinking that that's okay, and it's not. A man should not be putting his hands on you. Now, I agree you shouldn't be hitting a man either, but a man shouldn't be putting their hands on you, you feel me, just because you're angry or I said something that you didn't like, like whatever it is, get out. It ain't worth it. It's not worth it. And I know that you're thinking, "Oh, I can't do this on my own." Yes, you can. I promise you, you can. And it's going to be hard. It is going to be hard. I'm not going to lie to you. I promise you it's going to be hard. But the freedom and the peace that you will get or you and your kids will get, nothing, nothing is worth that freedom and nothing is worth that peace. Like I said, I've got out twice. Most women don't. And now that I'm out, I have to share my story. I have to tell my story. I don't know who you are on the other side of this screen, but I love you. I don't know what you're going through in your relationship, but I hope it gets better for you. I pray that you're blessed. I pray that you're able to walk away from that toxic or that abusive relationship without a scratch on you. I pray that God takes care of you and I pray that He takes care of your children. I know firsthand how it is. Most women who haven't been in a toxic or an abusive relationship, they won't understand you. They won't understand how you think. They won't understand that victim mindset. I do, because I was a victim, not once but twice. And now that I went through all, of the abuse, I'm starting to notice a lot of red flags, like off the rip. Hey, nope, this ain't for me. And again, it's because I took that time to heal. I'm not all the way healed, but I'm on the journey. Like my ex went on social media and we spun the narrative so fast that he left me and he kicked me out and I left. And on top of me leaving, I left you everything. Didn't want it, didn't need it, didn't care for it. He bashed me all over social media. I never spoke out. I never told my side of the story just because my family and my friends and God, your family and your friends know what really happened. They know who was doing what. They know who's who. So I never had to tell my side of the story. Now that I'm healed and now that I'm on this journey, I want to help other women. I want you to know you're not alone. I want you to know it is not normal. And I really do hope that you get that confidence and you get that self-worth back and you realize who you were before that relationship and who you can be after. It is not too late. It's not too late. I promise you it's not. I would love, to be able to speak to other women and we could share, experiences and we can talk about things that you don't want to talk about because I can't judge you because I went through it twice. Like as a child, I used to always say things like, "Oh, I would never let a man put his hands up. I don't know why she won't just leave." That just don't make sense. And until you get into something like that, it's not gonna make sense to you. Until you get in a situation like that, you're not gonna know what you're gonna do. It's easy for you to say what you wouldn't allow until you go through that. But don't judge me because I stayed. It's like it's not sometimes it's not so easy for you to walk away right after it happens again. I understand that. So again, I want this to be a safe place for us women. You know my story. You know what I mean? Like I done told you all my business. But I went through it and I got out. And I have three beautiful kids out of those toxic and abusive relationships. Do I wish I would have left earlier? Yeah. But I'm on a journey, man. I'm learning. I'm getting better. I'm starting to realize who I am because I am more than a mom and I am more than a victim. And I just want to say that it will get better. I just want to tell you I am proud of you. If you made it out, I'm proud of you, girl. That's not easy. If you are still in it, I'm rooting for you. And you got this. Make a plan and get out. If you got to leave everything behind, leave it. I promise you, you'll get it back tenfold. God takes care of us, but He takes care of us single mothers. It's so many months I don't know how a bill is gonna get paid. It get paid. It might be the last minute. It might be the last second. But God take care of me. He'll take care of you. You don't deserve a man putting his hands on you. You do not deserve to be called out of your name. You you don't deserve that. You're too beautiful. You are too intelligent. Leave him. Leave him. I hope to see y'all back for the next episode. This I just wanted to kind of let you guys know why I was here. And I wanted to kind of give you a brief story of how I got here. This don't just happen overnight, y'all. I'm on a journey and I'm learning myself and I'm learning my kids. And I want the same for you. No matter what you are going through, no matter what you've been through, I just want you to remember you did not lose yourself. You are finding yourself. I love you, and I need you here on this journey with me. You are not alone. I got you. This has been Girl Me Too, and I hope y'all come back for the second episode because these are the conversations that we are going to have. It's going to be down to the nitty gritty. This is hard for me because I'm normally, behind the scenes, but I'm really putting myself out there because I hope that this really does help a woman who needs to hear it. I'm not giving up on you. You shouldn't give up on you. Until next time, keep healing.
I remember feeling like I wasn't good enough. Had me questioning myself, I wasn't sure enough. Had me looking in the mirror, trying to analyze my figure. I ain't perfect, you weren't perfect, so that figures. You always put me in a bad place. Said we were moving at a fast pace. It was all my fault. I fell in love too hard. I didn't love myself. Said you loved me, but you only loved yourself. You rocked me so hard, you played all your cards right. You played with my heart, I might not be the same way. You were walking in the door, you wasn't saying hi. Saying bye-bye. Seems like you only got that way when things ain't go your way. Ooh, how could you tell me that you love me and behave this way? Sometimes I don't know how I survived. You picked me up, you threw me in the sky. Got hectic, but all in all the experience, it was a blessing, yeah. It taught me patience, can't skip the basics. Seems like you only wanted me for that sensation, yeah.